So our truck is able to move from left to right, but now we want him to be able to move to all the lanes. And what your program needs to do now is to consider which lane the truck is currently in. Because if the truck is currently in lane 2 and the player presses the A key, then the truck should glide to lane number 1. And if the truck is in lane number 1 and the A key is pressed, the truck should glide to lane number 0. Right? So your program needs to make a decision, and the decision is based on the truck's current lane position. Luckily, we made this lane variable, so we can create that if statement. Okay, so we're over here on when A key is pressed. Let's unhook all of the code here and replace it with an if statement. And we're going to say if the truck is in lane number 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and say if operators equals data lane. If lane is equal to 2 and the A key is pressed, then we want to glide here, right? And luckily we already have that set up. So let's go ahead and put the glide in there. And of course we want to keep track of our lane variable, so we could put that down here after the if. Okay, actually let's put it here inside of the if, so we can play the game. What should happen is our lane variable should change to 1, and the truck should glide to the second lane, the first lane here. So lane variable is equal to 1, and the truck is now in the second lane. Okay, so let's go ahead and code the portion where the truck can glide to the 0 lane. And so we're going to need to use this same setup right here. And we go to control, if equals operator, data, get our lane variable. And if the lane variable is equal to 1, then we want to glide. And we're going to change the glide to 0.5 seconds to make it a little bit faster. And let's go ahead and move this truck over here and see where that glide should go to. So the glide should go to -180. So let's put in here -180, and our y is going to stay the same at -123. And one more thing to note is that after you glide, you want to change your lane variable so that it always keeps track of which lane you're on. So we'll go here to data, and we'll say change lane by -1. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that now. And I'm going to double click on when I receive start. I'm going to press my A key. He glides. Ooh, that didn't work really well, did it? So I think it's the order here of our if statements. Okay, so we want to put 1 in front of the 2, and then I think everything's going to work fine. So I press once, I glide to here, I press again, I glide to here. And so the reason why the other way didn't work was because when I pressed A and I was in line 2, it changed the lane variable to be equal to 1. And then this statement was true. The lane variable is equal to 1. So I glided to the 0 lane. Right? So the order of these if statements were important, right, for it to do what we wanted to do. Because if we put the 1 in front of the 2, then what we get is the A key is pressed, and let's say the truck is here in lane 2. This is not a true statement, so it does not do this. And this is a true statement, so we are going to glide here where we want him to glide.